Spoilers for Firewatch, don't watch this unless you've finished the game. So I played Firewatch and went through a hell of a ride, just one twist after another. But something is still bothering me. I feel like I missed something, like something still doesn't add up.
Just what if we missed something about, something, I don't know.
Henry, you're tired. There's nothing big going on. They'll come back for you.
Well, there has got to be a reason why both Henry and me feel that way, so let's look over some points. When Henry is first attacked in the woods after discovering the clipboard, Delilah does not seem surprised or very worried. She seems to be trying to dismiss what Henry is saying even after he tells her what he sees.
Someone has written down what we said to each other, have been saying.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't talk to the other lookouts as much as I talk to you, not in the same way.
No way. You didn't find and eat any mushrooms, did you? I mean, they can be fun, but also, devastating.
And then after he is attacked and has the clipboard taken away from her, he asks her what Wapiti Station is. She stutters.
What's Wapiti Station?
I don't know.
I saw the name Wapiti Station right before I was cold-cocked. Does Wapiti Station mean anything to you?
Wapiti Meadow. Maybe it's Wapiti Meadow. It's on our maps. It's not too far from where you are right now. It's where you saw that damn fence. It's north of the lake. It looks like there should be a trail somewhere on the north shore of Jonesy Lake.
It seems as if she is trying to make Henry forget what he saw on the clipboard, but he is persistent and she knows that the station is on their maps, so she points it out to him instead. She is quick thinking in a moment of being caught. How does Delilah not know that there is a Wapiti Station? She's been working as a ranger for 10 years. She has enough seniority to have her food delivered to her in person. It's an established place that people from a university come to every year. Even if they come in the off-season, she should know it exists. Maybe she was just nervous, or maybe she was scared. Well, let's continue. When Henry notices another part of the fence that surrounds Wapiti Station, she is completely surprised by the idea that there is a fence, even though she was not concerned by another part of the fence that was already talked about earlier in the game.
How big is it?
Big. It goes off in both directions, acres.
But what the fuck is going on out here?
Whatever it is, someone doesn't want anyone to know about it.
Sometimes biologists will cordon off a little area to study flora or whatever, but that's only a few square feet usually.
Hey, Delilah?
What do you got? You found him?
No, not yet. Why would there be a fence out here?
Because sometimes hikers go ass over tea kettle when on a trail.
So the Forest Service would put up a big chain link fence?
A chain link fence?
Yeah. It looks like it surrounds a huge area. What do you think they're keeping in? What do they not want to have get out of there?
Oh, geez, so many things.
Should I just stop you now?
Maybe loads of hedgehogs.
How is she completely unaware of an established station and the fact that there is a fence that surrounds it? Why is she suddenly acting surprised now? Is she trying to plant a seed of paranoia in Henry's mind?
God, if you were an actual firefighter, you'd have that gate down in 2 shakes.
What?
Hey, actually, those guys doing the controlled burn, they might be able to help.
Where are they?
Beyond Ruby River, there's a scout camp. They burned a line a few days ago that should let you hike right to them.
How perfectly convenient that you've set up a suggestion that makes Henry go clear across the map, giving plenty of time for Ned to make a fake setup. She can see Henry walking around way the butts across the map, but has no idea what is going on in the area that is much closer. She can perfectly see the setup in Wapiti from her lookout. Look, she can see us perfectly well walking around at Wapiti, meaning that she could have been able to see Ned set up that camp and see the fence. So she says she doesn't know anything about Wapiti Station, and yet it's closer to her than Two Pines, and she can see it. She sits there all day using her binoculars to stare at stuff, and yet she's never seen Wapiti Station or anything that's going around in that area, or the fence. And here is another thing. The letter at the fireman's camp says that Dr. Ben Simmons, who is at Wapiti Station, reached out to the superintendent to take care of the wildfire, making me think that Wapiti Station is an established place that people know about, and that it is verified. Also, Delilah is aware of the fire crew to the south working on making the fire line stop the fire. So if Delilah is aware of the fire and reports the fire to her bosses, and then is aware of the firefighter crew in the area, how is it that a man who's supposedly at Wapiti Station and reaches out to the superintendent is completely off the radar of Delilah? It's Delilah's job to know about all the stations and the people in the area in order to make sure no one goes missing or dies without no one knowing. And why is it that the firefighters are getting a letter that says Dr. Simmons wanted them to make a fire line? And I have a very hard time believing that Ned, even with all his trickery, would be able to communicate to the outside world without Delilah noticing. Sending a fake letter would be a huge task that would take Ned days to carry out, let alone figure out where to send the letter and to get stamps. It's not like he can look this stuff up on the internet. It says in the box he opened when you break the gate to Wapiti Station that the professor and students return on August 15th. So Dr. Summers probably isn't there. All this is the work of Ned. But I ask again, how did Ned fake his way to communication with the outside world? Since Delilah says she reported the fire, but in the letter it says that Dr. Simmons was the one who reached out, then doesn't it make sense that Delilah let Ned use her equipment to report the fire? Or at the very least, report the fire under the pretext of speaking for Dr. Simmons? I know, it sounds out there, but wait. I have a feeling that Delilah has lied about some other things as well. Delilah has been a ranger for 10 years, and yet she doesn't know that you don't need to tap a two-way walkie-talkie? It's really not that hard.
Yeah?
Before I got attacked back at the lake, I saw a radio on the ground, kind of like the one I use.
And?
Do you think that maybe someone was,
I don't know. What?
maybe intercepting our frequency with other radios or something?
Henry...
It's just a thought.
I don't even know how you would do that.
Yeah, well, you sound worried.
No, I'm not, okay? Let's not spin out of control. Just keep hiking.
If she's had any experience with walkie-talkies at all, she would know that some of them have channels that you can choose from to talk to different people. And that two-way walkie-talkies with just one channel is just another walkie-talkie with a channel. Just tune into those channels from another radio so you can listen to them. How does she not know that after working with walkie-talkies for over 10 years? Even I know that, and I know that from using them for like 2 weeks when I was 9. What if they are using a privacy code? A privacy code in no way stops people from listening into your frequency. They are just a different frequency from the standard ones and are easily found anyway. So obviously she would know the most basic part of interacting with a radio, considering her entire job revolves around using a radio. She should know that just using new walkie-talkies would do absolutely nothing. Also, how did she hike over 8 miles both ways to drop off the new walkie-talkie? Why would she choose one of the most southern parts of the map to drop off the walkie-talkie? At the very northern tip of the map, it is 4.8 miles to Thoroughfare Lookout, which is where Delilah is, and 2.1 miles to Two Forks. And the place that Delilah dropped off the walkie-talkies is even more south than Two Forks, meaning that Delilah traveled over 7 miles, more like 8 or 9 if you add the additional distance to the tree, to drop off the walkie-talkie, also making her walk past Henry's station to do so and then again to walk back, totaling a hike of 14 to 18 miles. She does all of this before midday in order to get back to her station and talk to Henry over the radio. She could have hiked at night, but any normal human being knows that hiking in the wilderness at night is almost impossible. If she's going to go that far, why not hide the walkie-talkies in the bushes right near his station if she's shy or something? Or just hand it to him in person or whatever. She went right up to his thing. How could she cover about 14 to 18 miles before 4:30 p.m.? This isn't even walking on a flat surface. This is climbing, jumping, ascending, and descending. It's all over the place. Hiking takes a long time and requires a ton of energy. Henry was out cold for like 16 hours after his 14-hour hike to get to his station and showed up late in the night. Well, I'll tell you how she did it. She didn't. Ned planted the walkie-talkie for her, and she reported it to Henry. When you're walking up to the cache that has the new walkie-talkie in it, you can hear someone following you around, watching you. That doesn't happen in other parts of the game, or in the same area at a different time. Ned and Delilah are working together to mess with you because they're weird and bored. And now they're trying to cover their tracks since you found the clipboard, giving you a new walkie-talkies just to throw you off and make you feel more secure. But really, Ned is still 100% in the know and can still hear everything. I'm either making a very solid gaming Sims video, or I'm right. I doubt that these are all inconsistencies considering this is made by a team of writers who have worked on other really well-written things. And this game has been worked on for over 2 years. There's no way they could make that many obvious mistakes. Well, Mari, maybe they're not obvious and you're just a weirdo. Well, yes, that could be true, or we could have fun and get weirder. Here's the thing that makes sense to me. You can take all my points and make your own conclusions, or even believe that it's all just plot holes, but this is fun for me, so just sit back and listen. Delilah knew about Ned, and was in on the fun, so to speak, and in some way, somehow, Delilah and Ned were tangled up with each other in a certain way. There's a distinct change in the way Ned feels about Henry as soon as Delilah starts hitting on him. The descriptions of Henry suddenly go from a good guy to he's a selfish, cheating asshole who is crazy like his wife. And the descriptions of Delilah in her reports sound like a guy who would describe a cheating ex, which is also why Ned started to try and attack and kill Henry. He was jealous. This kind of explains how Delilah expresses her desire for Henry to scare the shit out of the camping girls in order to punish them. And then suddenly, that exact request is filled.
I want you to go find them.
And then what?
I haven't thought that far ahead. That's not true. Everything that comes to mind is illegal.
Let's hear it.
Oh yeah?
Hey, I came out here for a breath of fresh air and some adventure. What do you got?
I think I want you to just find them and scare the hell out of them. Wait for them to wander off and wreck their camp.
No.
Something that would make a teenage girl run home to mommy and daddy. You found them? Where are they?
No idea. The thing is, their entire campsite is wrecked.
What happened?
As if she is in sync with Ned's actions. If Henry won't do it, surely Ned will. And whom exactly is the person who is hand-delivering her supplies? Just one guy goes all the way into the wilderness to deliver her food? Or is it just Ned picking her stuff up from the drop-off point for her and bringing it to her? Seems like an oddly convenient plot point that sticks out. Maybe Ned really did trick the firefighters into protecting the area from the June fire all on his own. I'm not sure how he would do that. All I know is that Delilah is either an idiot who sucks at her job and is in superhero shape, or a liar. Maybe she thought Ned sent Brian home, which is why she didn't feel conflicted until she found out that Brian was dead. If she didn't know Brian was dead, this explains why in the end she doesn't want to tell the authorities about Brian's body, and why she wants to quit this job altogether. Because the authorities would ask questions about Ned.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Yes, I did. And now I've got to decide whether I tell people that he's down there so they can retrieve the body or not.
What?
And if I do, I'm going to be asked about Ned Goodwin.
That's not a question. You gotta do it.
Oh, fuck.
What kind of person doesn't want to notify the authorities about a dead child unless they really, truly think they will get in trouble? Not just lose your job trouble, but being put in jail trouble. Not reporting a child with their father in the wilderness is one thing. Not the biggest deal ever. Being part of the secret giggle club of messing with people that consists of her and a man who killed his son and also tried to kill another man is another thing. If she tells the authorities about Ned, they are going to try and find him. And when they find him, he'll tell them about her role in everything. So why doesn't Ned tell Henry the full story about Delilah? Because he probably doesn't want her to get in trouble. He can just run off into the woods and hide, and he knows she can't do that too. So he took the full fall for her. I mean, he's probably mad at her, but not that mad. Or maybe Ned just had a really creepy crush on Delilah to the point where he made a one-way stalker relationship with her, and also liked to steal panties. So what do you think? Is Delilah a manipulative, creepy liar, or is she innocent and you still want to be with her? Let me know in the comments.